Okay, so I'm pre-recording this a little bit. I had a problem where my previous video, which said that you could use like a small area to drop the blob off, was working as long as you had the object near to the perch tower. Now, I have had a different problem now, is where I tried to print again, but then I reused uh, some things, and then like I reused this here from the different build plate, and then I added it first, and then I added the two other objects here. But this one was, I just left it in there, just copied the other one. So basically, in this scenario, you can see here, you finish the first layer with the build tower, and then it starts and it prints this first. So it prints the little object here first. It doesn't end with it. And what I noticed then is that it puts the blob into the last object I printed on. In this case, it will finish in this spot, and it will put the blob there because it will go back, it will do all the things it will do, and then it will start second layer here by putting on blob and then going to print on the perch tower. Now I have an idea. I'm going to test it out. As when you add this one last, then it becomes the last object to print in the order. So I'll just do that now, go in and I delete that one, then I re-add it as a placeholder, and then I have to just zoom in. Then I just have to slice to find the correct position. Now I'll place it near the tower. So there is a relation to how close it is to the tower as well. And then I will change the filament to this one. Now my theory is that since this now is the last object I added to the plate, now it will also be sliced to print last. Okay, it's a bit too close. I'll move it away. There, slice. There. So let's see now. If I go all the way back here, and then we have the perch tower. Now, if everything is as I think, then it will do that last. So it goes here, comes to the end of the perch tower, then it prints the brim, and then it starts to print the first real object. Okay. So basically is that once it go back to the chute now, it should put the blob in the square because it's the last object I added to the build plate. And that would be a crucial detail in complementary to my previous video, which I will link to this one of course, in case you get troubles with the square area. See, now it prints this, and when it gets to the end of this should be the area that it printed off. Because I did a print earlier where, for instance, I made it like this, but this was just an object that I had moved to the top to try and make it closer to the perch chute and to the perch tower. It is technically closer to the tower than it is to than these are, but it still started with this one afterwards. So I'm going to do a print now, and we'll see what happens during the print. Okay, so it's coming up on the last object here that is finishing. It is supposed to be moving to the end here according to to print this last. And then once it's finished with this, it should go back to the print chute. Let's see what it does. So now you can see that it's actually printing the square, and then it goes to the chute, and then it should go back to here. So it's doing a LiDAR reading of the model, and afterwards it should go back to the square that you can see here. So it's just checking the first print layer, and then it should go back to the chute, and then it should go to the square here, and then to the prime tower. And if it does that, then my theory is correct, that it has to be the last object that is added to the build plate to be also printed on the first layer. See, now it went there, and then it started with the tower again. So my theory is correct then. And that explains why I got the weird printing before, because it was literally added first onto the build plate, not last. So if you ever wonder or ever kind of do it in like in the first video, just do like here, then put the placeholder for the dot onto the build plate after all the other objects have been configured and are ready to be printed. And make sure the purge tower is close to the purge chute, and make sure that the small placeholder for the dot is close to the purge tower, and that the placeholder is the last object to be put on the build plate, so that it is sliced and printed last on every layer, especially the first layer, which is the only time it will actually put the dot down. So I hope you like my content, and I hope you like this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Please like and sub.